I'm Russell Jung. I'm a professor of Asian American Studies, and I'm the chair of the department. We're actually the largest program in the nation in Asian American Studies, and we teach over 50, 60 sessions a semester, so we teach over 2,500 students. And so I oversee those classes. This is our 50th anniversary, so we're also doing a lot of programming about the historical significance of the Third World Liberation Front strike with the Black Student Union. We are organizing a reunion of the strikers and publishing a book about the strike. Ethnic studies is critical more than ever. It was critical 50 years ago, but even today, race relations are at a low point. The nation's actually more segregated. The school systems are more segregated today than they were 50 years ago. Some of the changes I've seen in San Francisco State in the last 20 years, at least in the student population, is that students have higher rates of food insecurity and housing insecurity. So we talked about how gentrification and the high-tech industry has widened inequalities. So I think the students at San Francisco State are actually more low income and more struggling to survive. And so I see, for myself, I have this perception of San Francisco becoming increasingly high-tech hipster-like. It's not just the image, but it's impacting our communities already as the city gentrifies and as it widens and as we have high-tech buses leaving our neighborhoods to go work in Silicon Valley. It's got a real material day-to-day impact because people can't afford to live in San Francisco anymore. People can't afford to pay for rent. People can't afford to eat. And so I think how it's affecting our communities of color, this shift, is that getting displaced. It's not just an image of single young people. It's a reality that concretely impacts who can live here, who can afford to live here. And so the role of ethnic studies is one of resistance. It's to show students that we have a history of resistance, that when we survived, and we're going to continue to resist. And so what ethnic studies does, it provides the tools of how we can resist, of how we can draw from our heritage, how we can draw from role models, how we can draw from our literatures, how we can draw from our art, all to be able to not only survive, but to thrive in this country and in the state. So ethnic studies, I think, isn't just for people of color. I think it's necessary for all of the students, at least in California, to be able to live in a multicultural, multi-ethnic situation. Clearly, we don't know how to do that now, or else we wouldn't have the problems that we do. What we're trying to say is, if students 50 years ago could do this, you students now could do the same thing in terms of, fighting for your communities and working for social change.